Assalamu alaikum, welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar's kitchen. Today we are making this delicious Russian style buns called Vatrushka, and I am going to start by making the strawberry sauce. So I've just used half a packet of strawberries and I added about 1/4 cup of sugar, and I'm just going to squeeze in lemon or lime, whatever you have. Actually lime is better, but I just have lemon. And some vanilla. Now the strawberries, it depends how much you want. I'm just going to use a little bit, not for all the recipes. And also the sugar depends on how sweet the strawberries are. So I'm just going to bring this to a boil while I mash it, and then reduce the heat and let it cook, simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to prepare the yeast. I've got about 250 milliliters of warm milk, and I have used 1 packet of yeast, which is about 10 grams, and 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm just going to mix it well and let it sit for about 10 minutes or maybe lesser. In the meantime, I'm going to sift the flour, which is 3.5 cups, about 400 grams. And I also added about half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I'm just gonna prepare the dough now, and I'm just going to make a little well there, as you can see. And I used 2 eggs that were in room temperature. I'm just gonna mix it to just break down the eggs and then add the liquid. Now I started with 240 milliliters. You may need more, or you may be just okay, or you may need extra flour, because the flours, I always mention, they all have different densities. Some are heavy, some are light. All right. So basically what I'm looking for is a very soft dough that is very, very sticky, because that's how it's going to make my buns nice, soft and airy. And I did forget to add vanilla. So please do add vanilla sugar if you have, or you can use vanilla extract, about 1 teaspoon. All right. So I added more milk, about 1/4 cup. So that made 250 milliliters, which is 1 cup in total. So now I'm going to move to a flat surface. You can use a stand mixer if you want, and you will use the dough hook. Now I'm going to add the butter. This is a soft butter. You can also use cold butter. That's perfect, actually. Mine was too cold and I tried to make it soft, so it became too soft. Okay, so I just folded the butter, and now I'm folding the dough on it. Okay, and this is difficult, I have to tell you, because the dough is very sticky, and please do not be tempted to add extra flour. But if you need to, then just do about 2 tablespoons, not more than that. All right, so now I decided to use the bench scraper, which makes it very easy to just knead the dough just like that. You just want to fold it in like that. And then, so this should take totally about 7 to 10 minutes. And now we're going to put this in a bowl so that it can rise. So in the bowl, of course, I've added some oil to allow the dough to rise easily without any restrictions of sticking on the side of the bowl. And then cover it well and let it sit for at least an hour or more if you can, to let it rise double in volume, or triple if you're patient enough. And yeah, that's it. So in the meantime, I'm going to prepare the streusel. This is totally optional. This is totally American. So I have used 1/4 cup of flour and 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of cold butter. So I only wanted to use for some of the vatrushkas, not all the buns. So I made little, but if you want to use for all, then you can increase the measurement. Basically, it's the sugar and the flour would be same measurement, and half of that would be the butter. So if you're using half a cup of sugar, half a cup of flour, and 1/4 cup of butter. So you just want to make crumbs like this. You can use a food processor if you want. And this is what I'm looking for. And then after this, I kept it in the fridge till when we are ready to use it. Then for the cream cheese, this is 1 block of cream cheese. I think it's about 8 ounces. And I added about 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. You can always add more or less however you like it. And of course some vanilla too. At some point I did add. And you can also use a hand mixer for this. Mine was a little bit difficult, but it was too little for me to use the hand mixer. So I just decided to use a spatula, and I'm just going to cream it just like that. Just be a little patient and it will all come together. All right. So as you can see, it's all nice. And I added about half a teaspoon of vanilla. I don't know at what point, but it was there. All right. So now once that's done, I'm going to prepare the blueberry sauce. This is also totally optional. I used one whole container of blueberries and about half a cup of sugar and some vanilla, lemon zest and lemon juice. I did prepare a lot of blueberry sauce because we use this for breakfast with our pancakes. So if you want, if you don't want so much, you can do maybe half of it. You can also use jam. You don't have to prepare a fresh fruit sauce or whatever fruits that you want. Although I have not seen many variations. I've seen mostly blueberries, strawberries, and some of them just without any sauce at all. So you can do that. So now to thicken the blueberry sauce, I started with 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, and I added a little bit too much of orange juice. So I added another teaspoon. Just going to mix this well. And then now if you're going to pour this just like this, the way it is, it's going to form lumps. So I'm going to temper this by adding the juice, the hot juice of the blueberry, as you can see, so to get the cornstarch mixture a little bit warm. And then I'm just going to pour it slowly as I stir, as you can see. And now it's nice and perfect, no lumps. All right, we're just going to let it cook for about 2 minutes or so, just to make sure that the cornstarch is well cooked. So once that's done, we're going to let it cool. And now I'm going to prepare the buns. The dough is ready. I let it sit for about an hour. I wasn't patient enough, but it's okay. And now you can have these buns any size you want, but I wanted just medium size, which was actually pretty too big for one person. So I made the 10 portions. You can go up to 12. Okay, and then now I'm just going to form a nice ball. Just like that. You can do however you want. And if you have any recipe that you think would do good for this, you want something light and airy, that's fine. You don't have to use this recipe. It's just an idea that you can take. So now I got them on my parchment paper. We're just going to cover them and let them sit for about 30 to 45 minutes. And this took about 30 minutes. Now I'm going to form an insertion like a hole. You can use a glass, or you can use a steel bowl like that, or anything that can give that shape. But you want to put it in the flour first. This is the size that I was looking for the size of the bun that I have. Okay, so just like that, you see, it's very simple. And when you put the flour, then it doesn't stick. Okay, so just like that. And now we're going to fill the cream cheese. I'm sorry, my camera was on pause, but I put the cream cheese in a piping bag, and just like that. And now I'm going to put the sauce. So I did like 6 with strawberries and 4 with blueberries. And then we're going to egg wash. And for the egg wash, I only used the yellow part, the yolk, with about a tablespoon of milk. And then I just brush that onto the buns, just like that. And then we're going to add the streusel. Now for the streusel, I only used for the strawberry ones. I didn't do it on the, I think I did a little bit, I don't remember now. So these baked at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, and they look gorgeous. And you want them to cool a little bit, and you can add fresh fruits like how I'm doing strawberries, which is totally optional, but it does elevate the look and the flavors of these beautiful, delicious Vatrushkas. And you will find all the ingredients and the measurements in the description box below. And yeah, we had this for brunch, and I think this would be beautiful any parties or anything. And of course, we're going to drizzle some sugar to make them look more attractive, and of course some garnish if you wish. I like to use the mint. And that's it. Let me cut it, and I want you to see it. It's just like that. It's nice and beautiful. Thank you so much for watching.